Information Technology and IT Services.
Chapter Masters of Ceremony for this inauguration program. Wishing you all a belated Happy New Year. The President ICSI CS B. Narasimhan, Vice President ICSI CS Ashish, Minister of Information Technology and Digital Services, Government of Tamil Nadu, Chief Executive Officer of Karur Vysya Bank, and our and CS R. Venkatramana, Central Council Member ICSI, to please occupy their seats on the dais. Thank you, sir. I now request CS B. Narasimhan, Vice President ICSI, to adorn CS Nagendra D. Rao, Pras.
Was heading the infrastructure committee of Coimbatore chapter and did a fabulous job. It is very fitting that today he is here as a special guest. Thank you, Nagendra. We also have the son of the soil, our own young and energetic Vice President, our Narasimhan sir, fondly called as Nana. Nana sir was also in the Coimbatore Infrastructure Committee and he knows each and every development of the Coimbatore project. And who will be taking over as the president from 19th of January. Extremely happy, sir, and we are extremely happy to have you, sir. And we have our leader, our president, and Mr. Manish Gupta. Extremely thankful for all this effort. And friends, during this 1 year for Tamil Nadu, under the able leadership of President, so many building infrastructures have been done. Madurai land has been, approval has been given by the headquarters to procure a land. Thrissur, Cochin building is about to be completed. Mangalore new building was purchased and moved, and Hyderabad also approval has been given. Almost 6 to 7 infrastructure projects have been approved under the leadership of our Manish Gupta. Thank you very much, Manish bhai, for your wonderful service over the last 1 year. We also have our own CS Dwaraganath sir, Central Council member, ever smiling and energetic person, and dynamic Venkatramana, who works 24/7. And we have Secretary ICSI, Mr. Ashish Mohan, who was there who had been a chaplain of the chapter and who is adorning the secretary's position, who knows that all the plus and minus and difficulties, challenges of any chapter. We are extremely happy to welcome Chairman of SARC, Mr. Damodaran, who has been a great support from SARC to the building project. We also have Chairman of Coimbatore chapter, Mr. Ilangovan, who has done a fabulous job in the last 1 year, where most of the construction work has been completed. We have the Vice Chairman, Mr. Vijay Magendran, and Secretary Shakuntala Madam also. And friends, we also have Mr. Pradhan, who has done a fabulous job in the building project, and Dr. Sanjay Pandey, both of them from infrastructure, and we also have Pradeep Sakar and entire SARO team. Friends, we are extremely happy to have the past chairman who have done tremendous job to the project. Mr. Ramasubramania Raja is here. During this period only, the land was purchased, and then Mr. Mageshwaran, who has done a tremendous job during his term, lot of activities done. Mr. Singaravel sir is here. He has also done wonderfully well. And Doraisamy sir, during his term only, all approvals were obtained. Thank you very much, Doraisamy sir. And Ayani Kumar sir, during his term, the construction started when our Nagendra Bhai was as the president, and finally, of course, Mr. Ilangovan I already mentioned. Friends, since our chief guest is here, I'd like to briefly mention about our institute. Sir, our institute functions under the jurisdiction of Ministry of Corporate Affairs, and Company Secretary is designated as a key managerial personnel, sir. There are only 4 categories of people who are considered as key managerial personnel in a company. One is MD, CEO, CFO and Company Secretary. So these are the 4 people who are considered as key managerial personnel, and Company Secretary is considered as one of the key managerial personnel. Sir, we have 70,000 plus qualified members and more than 2 lakh students, sir. And the institute's headquarters is at Delhi. We have 4 regional offices at Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata and Chennai, and we have 72 chapters across India and 15 chapters in southern India only, sir. And we also have more than 250 exam centers across India, including places like Tuticorin, Tirunelveli. People write exams from there also, sir. And it's a very, very rigorous course, 3 levels of CS, EET, executive and professional. And if one fails in one paper, they have to write the entire group. So the quality of examination is extremely good, and the students study Companies Act and all the laws applicable to the Corporate Factories Act, every Act, ESA Act, all the legislation applicable to the company, and either they go as a key managerial personnel, work as company secretary, or they take up practice. And our practicing company secretaries take up activities like secretarial audit, insolvency company secretaries are doing extremely well, sir, among all the professionals. They are also doing as registered valuers and NCLT practitioners. Before National Company Law Tribunal, they are practicing corporate restructuring, trademark. So this is about the institute, sir. Finally, I'd like to very, very briefly mention about the property. ICSI acquired this plot, 30 cents of land in the year 2014, 13,000 square feet. It is almost 10 years dream, more than 10 years dream for the people of Coimbatore, and today it's coming to a reality. And the plan approval was obtained in the year December 2021. As I already mentioned, when Mr. Doraisamy was the chairman and Mr. Nagendra Bhai was there, and construction started in the year 2022 and it was completed in the year 2023. We got all the NOC from necessary authorities. Sir, we have stilt plus 3 floors building. In the stilt, we have parking as well as reception. In the first floor, we have office area. We have chairman's cabin, boardroom and a library. In the second floor, we have 2 classrooms where 60 plus people can sit. And the third floor, we have an auditorium where 140 people can sit. So this is about the project. And if I have missed out anybody, kindly pardon me. I recognize the presence of past chairman, Mr. Balasubramaniam, also chairman designate of SARC, Pradeep Kulkarni, and all others. Because of time, Mr. KSR, who helped to, who is always giving a helping hand. If I missed out anybody, kindly pardon me. We are extremely pleased to have Mr. Palnil sir here, and we are extremely happy to listen to him, similar like you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Leaders become great, not because of their power, but because of their ability to empower others. I now invite CS Manish Gupta, President, ICSI, to address the gathering with his cheerful words.
Thank you. Dr. Palanivel Tyagarajan, Chief Guest for the inaugural function for the Coimbatore property. He is Minister with the State Government and having a portfolio of IT digital services at Government of Tamil Nadu. B. Ramesh Babu, MD and CEO, Karur Vaishya Bank. Vice President, ICSI. My Central Council colleagues on the dais, Ashish Mohanji, Secretary, ICSI. Team from Coimbatore who is there on the dais, Chairman Elanga Mohanji and his entire team, all other committee members of the dais, dignitaries of the dais. Acknowledge the presence of past President of ICAI, Ramaswamy sir. Past Chairman from SIRC. Ladies and gentlemen, very good morning to all of you. Very good morning to all of you. Let me first congratulate each one of you for having this property and having the dream come true. That dream was seen in the year 2014 when a thought came to the mind that Coimbatore should also have its own premises, its own land as ICSI house. That dream was started in the year 2014 when the acquisition for the small piece of land was done and seen. It took almost 10 years. That is the process we follow at the ICSI, rigorous process I would say, because at institute level we always follow each and every such procedure very minutely, and it took almost 8 to 9 years to get the approvals done, and finally under the able leadership of my brother Nagendra Rao, we could start with the construction in the year 2021, December 2021. And today I'm really fortunate to stand before you as President ICSI, as well as fortunate to inaugurate this building, and I am really feeling proud that I am part of the process and this is happening in my tenure. Thank you very much, and many congratulations to all the students, all the members and all the stakeholders who are going to be benefited because of this building in the days to come. This is a beautiful piece of land. At the same time, the construction, the architecture which is done on this property, this land is marvelous. I request each one of you to kindly have a round of the building, visit this building and see how beautifully each and everything is being captured, carved out and planned meticulously. And I'm sure the way those classes to be done, the research work in the days to come would be happening at this premises, the way the members program to be conducted, it will give a new dimensions to the Coimbatore, and Coimbatore would be above, I would say, the 15 chapters in SIRC would be leading from the front. So it is a lesson for SIRC. SIRC Chairman Damodaran sir is here with us. Chairman-elect is also here with us, Pradeep Kulkarni. So you can also plan something big like your chapters, because I have seen Bangalore having big building now. Hyderabad is also having a big building. Coimbatore also has big building now. Why SIRC is operating from that small piece of land? So let us think about SIRC. Let us move out to some good place, bigger place for SIRC. And let me assure you from this podium, on behalf of my entire council, that whenever those proposals would be there, we will be more than happy to approve it. Sir, our institute was established in the year 1968 with few members. Today, we are most humbly the largest institution in the world for the company secretaries. In the world, there are 1,05,000 company secretaries available in the entire world. And our institute is leading with more than 72,000 members as on date. We do have 2.5 lakh registered students as on date who are pursuing this particular course. At the same time, sir, we have revised our syllabus last year only. And that was on the terms of the NEP, New Education Policy, which was introduced by the Honorable Prime Minister of India in the year 2020. Taking a clue from that policy, we have introduced many new topics which are related to the future orientation of the students, those who are enrolled in today's date. They would be coming out in the next 2 to 3 years. and the benefit of the study curriculum which we have captured today, that is going to benefit them in next 2 to 3 years. So we do have a robust training mechanism wherein every student has to undergo 21 months long-term training as well as 30 days CLDP, which is a soft skill learning program for the members, so that we are planning to build the career as well as their knowledge has to be at most whenever they would be joining the corporates in the days to come. Sir, I have a one request to make. Sir, we have seen one beautiful piece of land at Madurai. You belongs to Madurai, so this is a humble request to you. And that piece of land belongs to housing board at Madurai. We have already given our representation to them, and they are also in agreement. They have sent those recommendation along with our letter to the Chennai headquarters for their approval. So I would be handing over the representation to you as well, and would be looking for your support so that one more chapter from Tamil Nadu should have its own property in the days to come at Madurai. So I would be looking for your support, sir. So the last one thing I would like to share with you. You happens to be a information technology minister as well at Tamil Nadu. Sir, at the ICSI we are now having the full use of the technology. We have introduced the learning management system wherein we are having mini courses which are based on the web sessions, and we are the only institution which has started with the 100% free oral tuition classes for the students pan India, across India. All 2.5 lakh students can get the benefit of free online coaching classes, and they would also be having a subscription of 1 year. They can anytime go and view those classes which are there in the live webinar series, and the recorded version they can see anytime up to 1 year. So that is the unique initiative which has been taken by this council in the year. Once again, I would like to congratulate each one of you for having this wonderful property at Coimbatore, and I'm sure in the days to come, you all will participate in the programs to be organized by the chapter, and your participation at the Central Council. Let me share with you, whenever any such proposal comes at the Central Council level for deliberation and approval, we always think for the usage, how this particular property is going to be utilized, and we are looking for the optimum utilization of the property. And I am sure, under the able leadership of Chairman-elect who is there on the dais, and with all your support and contribution, we will be having an optimum utilization of the property, and many such programs for the members and students would be organized in the days to come. Many congratulations once again. Would like to thank our chief guest. Thank you very much, sir, for gracing the occasion. We are really grateful to your support and the contribution you extended to the Coimbatore chapter. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir, for gracing the occasion. Thank you. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
Thank you for your heartfelt words, sir.
Leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality.
I would like to hand over the Madurai proposal.
Thank you, dignitaries. I now request Shri Ramesh Prabhu, Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of Karur Vaishya Bank, to address the gathering with his enchanting words.
Honorable Minister for IT and Digital Services and President of the Institute, Chairman, Office Bearers and members and dignitaries on the dais as well as in the audience, and the professionals as well as the aspiring professionals, young aspiring professionals. I am able to see many of them. A very good morning to all of you. Before our minister speaks, anyone speaks, it will be pain. I know very well, because all of you must be eagerly waiting to hear him. So, first of all, I feel delighted to be a part of this program. I felt so happy when I was invited, because I will be amongst these eminent personalities and men and women who are pretty good and doing something for the community. Now, if you look at this building, I have seen this building, it's a momentous occasion because it reflects the commitment of the entire river community for the growth of the profession. And also when I looked at the building, each part, I found it to be a center of excellence for the training. And not only that, it gives a lot of opportunity to ideate because a lot of space is there for thinking and to foster the relationships and connections. And above all, it will pave the way for good corporate governance. So this is the strength of this organization. So coming to Coimbatore chapter, if I look at it, so what I understand is, so it has got 6 times the best chapter award in the country, and that too under the gold category. So above all, the classroom teaching, the number of students enrolled are the highest, which shows the area, how much of awareness is there for the profession. When it is, President was mentioning, it is quite heartening to see, out of 1 lakh odd in the entire world, 70,000 is in India, 70% one country is representing. That itself shows the strength of all of you. So I wish all the best for the community as well as to take it forward. Now, to be on a lighter side, I'll just share with you. In the initial years when I joined the bank, when I was going through the acts and all, I read that a public company is a company which is not a private company. So I thought it is as simple as this. The company secretary role is also as simple as that, as easy as that, because the definition says very easily. But later when I joined the bank and all started engaging with the corporates and looking at the nitty-gritties, nuances, then I understood how difficult the role is, because they are the guardians of the governance. So literally they continuously guide why and how the company has to be ethical. The reason is simple. An ethical person ought to do more than what he is supposed to do and less than what he is allowed to do. So that is the reason ethical, suppose until unless these guards or guardians are not there, it becomes very difficult. In fact, luckily, I belong to Karur Vaishya Bank. Our board has, so Dr. KSR with us, who is an eminent company secretary also, and along with that he wears many hats. And he is the guardian for us as far as the compliance is concerned. Now coming to the company law is concerned. Over a period of time it has been revised, modified, keeping in view the global and Indian economic landscape and the societal changes what all are required. So they will have framed statutes and regulations. But until and unless religiously and seriously they are implemented and executed, the purpose of all these statutes will go waste. So the terrific role and tremendous responsibility is on this community. They take care of these sort of things. They always tell us to do the things right, because they tell us one thing: do the things which are right and do not easy. So not easy, suppose someone is trying to do something which is easy, which may not be right. Many times it is proved that things which are hard are the right things. So that way, these sort of people, when they are there, they work with the companies and the organizations, and they reassure all the stakeholders, including the lawmakers as well as the investors, international, domestic. They will be very confident when a set of people who are guarding the organization, if they take care of this, they assure us. Now coming to the board also. Now board, I feel, board plays a vital role in any company, because corporate governance emanates from the board, and if the board is absolutely independent, they frame the rules for what all are the corporate governance is required, and that is properly executed by various functionaries down the line, then the organization is very safe, very safe. So that way, if you look at it, so the community of company secretary has evolved over a period of time. The way they are contributing to the country as well as the stakeholders is immeasurable. I once again thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity, and I wish them all success in their endeavors. Thank you once again.
Thank you, sir. The right thinking can become a valuable capital asset. I now request CS N. Damodaran, Chairman, SIRC ICSI, to introduce our chief guest, Dr. Palnivel Thiagarajan, Honorable Minister of Information Technology and Digital Services, Government of Tamil Nadu, who has made his valuable presence on this occasion.
Happy morning, everyone. Sir, we are delighted to have you, sir. Sir is highly educated among all the ministers in the head of Tamil Nadu portfolio, and we as a Tamil Nadu people, like we yourself and your family, you yourself, sir, your grandfathers, all of them contributed great things to our Tamil Nadu state, sir. And I have share an experience, like when we invited Sarah as office as accepted our invitation to grace our occasion. But when me and the gentleman sir insisted that we physically go and give the invitation, but our sir office told that it's not necessary. When we committed, we will be there. So that shows how simple sir is, and after this highly position, are still simple and humble. And also, and usually chief guests we know, like sir came at dot 9 o'clock today. So we have been pushed back as a this completes sir's brief profile. Dr. Palnivel Thiagarajan serves as a Ministry for Information Technology and Digital Services. Earlier, sir has served as a Ministry for Finance and Human Resource Management in Government of Tamil Nadu. During his term as a Finance Minister, Honorable Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, M.K. Stalin nominated Palnivel Thiagarajan sir to GST Council as a GST Council member to represent the Tamil Nadu government. Dr. Palnivel Thiagarajan sir was also a member of group of ministers on system reforms, standing committee, and second casino racecourse and online gaming as nominated by the chairman of GST Council. Sir is also a MLA for Madurai Central Constituency in 2016-21 and 2021-26 Legislative Assembly of Tamil Nadu. Earlier in 2016, he was elected as an MLA on the DMK ticket. He served on the Tamil Nadu Legislative Assembly Public Account Committee in 16-20, and he was an executive committee member of the Tamil Nadu chapter of Commercial Parliament Association. In June 2017, he was appointed as the founding secretary of the newly formed IT wing of DMK. In that capacity, he has undertaken the build out of the party's technology platform and a cadre of several thousands office bearers across the state. Later in the year 2022, he relinquished the party post due to the ministerial portfolio. Dr. Rajan previously worked as an international investment banker for many years in several trading, market sales and management roles at Lehman Brothers and the Standard Chartered Banks, Singapore, where he last served as a senior managing director, finance market, overseeing the sales of several fixed income products globally. Before banking, his career spanned academic, agriculture, consultancy, manufacturing and research. Because of his global career and deep curiosity, Dr. Rajan sir has travelled to about 60 countries across the major continent. His political and policy views are significantly shaped by the observation of both the diversity of cultures around the world and the diversity of human values. Dr. Rajan sir earned a BTech Honours in Chennai Engineering from NIT Trichy, MS Operations and PhD Human Factor Engineering and Engineering Psychology from the State of University of New York, and an MBA Finance from MIT Sloan School of Management. Dr. Rajan sir represents the fourth generation of his family's engagement in the Dravidian movement, and he is the third generation elected representative following his footsteps of his grandfather Tamil Sir P.T. Rajan sir, former Minister of Chief Minister for the Madras Presidency under the direction, and his father P.T.R. Palnivel Rajan, former Speaker of Tamil Nadu Legislative Assembly and Ministry of Government of Tamil Nadu. His ancestors, Mr. M.T. Subramania Mudaliar, served as a Vice President of South Indian Liberal Federation, the fountainhead of the Dravidian movements at its reception in 1960. So even before the Independence Day, Sar's family is contributing to ourselves, and thank you for your honor. Yes.
Thank you, sir. The most powerful leadership tool you have is your personal example. At this juncture, we are honored to dedicate this proverb to our ebullient chief guest for the day, Dr. Palnivel Thiagarajan, Honorable Minister of Information Technology and Digital Services, Government of Tamil Nadu. to share few words with the gathering.
Thank you very much, first for that extensive and very kind introduction, but more importantly for inviting me to this momentous occasion that has been at least 10 years in the making from inception till now. So I acknowledge the presence of the senior officers of the ICSI, both at the national and the state and the regional and Coimbatore level. The guest of honor, MD and CEO of KVB, Sri Ramesh Babu, who gave a very thought-provoking speech a few minutes ago. The current president, CS Manish Gupta, the incoming president in a few days, CSB Narasimhan of Tamil Nadu himself, the past president, CS Nagendra Rao. I don't think the collector will make it today. He called me this morning and said he couldn't come. I'm not sure if the commissioner is going to make it, but all the officers, past president of ICAI, Ram Sami, many of the past office bearers of the ICSI, some of the senior people of the ICAI, all of you, thank you for coming here this morning and for inviting me to be part of this event. Actually, this visit is a bit unusual for me. We are in the midst of some very big programs. We just finished the Global Investor Meet 7th and 8th. Yesterday and today there's a World Tamil Economic Conference. In fact, I have to rush back this afternoon to participate in the valedictory function there. Tomorrow and the day after we have the World NRI Meet. I have some presentation there. And I have so many guests in town because ministers, executives, very distinguished Tamils from all over the world are coming in for these events. So I was not sure whether I could actually take the time to come. But I had some other pending work in Coimbatore, so I decided after getting this invitation to combine that work and take half a day and come and be here. In particular, I wanted to be here for two reasons. One, I think Coimbatore is a very industrious town, one of the thought leaders and production powerhouses of Tamil Nadu, and a very civic-minded society where a lot of professionalism is nurtured, whether it is in manufacturing, in services, in education. And so I wanted to come and do my part to acknowledge and encourage that. I also had the luxury of coming a few years ago to the ICAI building inauguration. 2 years back, 3 years back? But when it was first started, that new hall, 80, when I was an MLA. So I feel like now I've had a chance to come and be part of both ICAI and ICSI in Coimbatore and have the association with that. I thought it was important to come because I made this point before, but I'll make it again. I think there is a very vital relationship and link between institutions and the quality of a democracy, and secondly between the strength and independence of institutions and the growth of the economy and the quality of life of citizens. This is well established around the world. It's also theoretically very clearly logical that when you have in a democracy where the biggest role of democracy really is to prevent the aggregation of wealth to the few, to ensure that the many are provided for, and to ensure a reasonable distribution of opportunity and then the resulting wealth or resources, then surely having independent institutions is the way that you can achieve those goals most efficiently. I think historically there was always a debate that if you take advanced countries, you can see clearly that the quality and independence and robustness of institutions, and those institutions could be something as profound or basic to constitution as the judiciary or the media, and it could be something as commercially important as the ICAI or the ICSI, which are self-regulatory and licensing bodies, or for that matter the Indian Medical Association in professions. It could be market regulators like SEBI, It could be any number of check and balance function, as well as licensing, regulatory compliance authorities that you have. And in advanced countries, you will find that these institutions have very robust roles and very independent of the central axis of power of a democracy, which is elected governments. And they are therefore a balancing fact. And of course, by definition of saying advanced economies, that means they have very good economic growth. The question always used to be, which is the chicken and which is the egg? If you say that having strong, independent, functional, regulated authorities that are able to maintain a check and balance goes along with growth, is it that growth makes citizens ask for better institutions, more level playing field, greater transparency, greater accountability? Or is it that better institutions drive economic growth? And I think that debate raged for many decades, particularly till about the 2000-2002 era, because it was hard to say which was which. But I think what has happened since then, particularly since the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, is that a lot of these advanced economies, advanced societies have started to see a deterioration in the quality of their institutions, the independence of their regulatory or other bodies. And as a consequence, we have seen huge crises both in the financial markets as well as in geopolitics. And we have started to see a decline and a decay in economic outcomes as well as democratic outcomes. And by democratic outcomes, I start with, first and foremost, keeping society together equitably and not having greater and greater stratification where the rich get richer and everybody else gets left behind. So I think by now it is clear that institutions come first. Good, strong, independent, robust institutions create better democracies and create, therefore, better growth prospects and eventually better lives and better quality of lives for citizens. And I think that's why I thought it so important that I should come here today, partly for the pride of Coimbatore, partly for the value of such institutions, and to encourage and give my support to these entities. In fact, I'll take that one step further. I was recently a guest at the YI chapter of the CII, a national convocation in our convention in Chennai. And they asked me, what is the one piece of advice you would give to us young entrepreneurs, young industrialists, young leaders? And the one piece of advice I said was, try and build institutions that will outlast you. Try and build things that are beyond the profit or beyond your lifetime, not just for your descendants and your associates and your employees and your partners, but that's what builds a country. You build institutions, and by institution I mean you build a sustainable and sustaining culture and way of acting that is cohesive, with aligned incentives, with shared values, and that will replicate itself beyond your time in that office. As somebody who practices what he preaches, that's what I tried to do when I built the DMK IT wing. I made sure that the level of professionalism, the kind of discipline was maintained, which was relatively uncommon in politics. And I also kept talking from day one. Whenever I gathered people together or I traveled I think 2 or 3 times, 6,000 kilometers across the state, went and saw every town, every city, ran interviews, ran meetings. I never used to talk about technical things. This is our ambition for this election or this purpose. All those I could disseminate through the office bearers, online, through videos, through whatever. But the values, the culture, who are we? Why are we here? What do we stand for? What is it that we will do? What is it that will not be acceptable in our culture? And what is going to happen when I am no longer in the seat? From day one I was always talking about that I will someday no longer be in the seat. I think those kinds of investments, whether it is in something like the IT wing of my party, or those of you who may have seen my interviews when I was finance minister, as I told Dr. Manmohan Singh when I met him, my ambition used to be limited. I want to try and improve the finances. But the more time I spent in the job, I said my ambition is to leave a better finance department with more automation, better values, better professionalism, and the likelihood of it continuing to function in a more efficient and more transparent way after I am no longer in the seat. That's what structural change in institution building calls for, and I hope I did some of that in my time. In particular, today I was impressed to hear two things. One is how many chapters and how many exam centers that this institute has around the country and also in Tamil Nadu. As much as we want to prosper as a nation, we must remember that the weighted average outcome is what defines us. In some cases, it's how we treat the poorest that defines us, and that is more in character. But in terms of economic competence and competitiveness in a global economy, we have to look at weighted average outcomes. And this is not just economic imperative for people like me who come from the Dravidian movement. Inclusion and social justice and access for everybody to bettering their lives through education and not limiting people to what their parents' occupation used to be is core to our identity, is core to why we come to public life. And in that sense, I say that I am very happy and I applaud you that you have so many chapters, you have so many exam centers, people can access it from everywhere, and in particular that you have unlimited free online access to all those who want to study and want to be part of the profession. And I think that's a very healthy sign for inclusion and access. The second thing I want to say is that this request that has come, I don't know if it was coincidental or if it happened to be well planned, but what the president doesn't realize, I'm from Madurai, this building request is in Madurai, but it's more than that. This actually is in my own constituency, is in my MLA constituency. So I'm more than happy to follow up on it and try and execute it in a reasonable time. And if we are lucky, while Mr. Narasimhan is in the seat, we will get to close the transaction in the next year. And then you can come to my constituency and have a function.
We'll also come.
Good. I wish I could have stayed for the afternoon function because, really inspiring young people and felicitating them on their achievements is key to the role of a public servant and a politician. Unfortunately, as I said, for the commitments I had, and these were long-standing commitments before I got this invitation, I have to head back. But let me use this opportunity to convey in advance my wishes to the many graduates of the program who will be receiving their certification this afternoon. I hope you all have wonderful, impactful careers ahead. As many have mentioned, the role of corporate secretaries in governance and the role of governance in our economy and in our capital markets, especially for public limited companies, is inarguably the most important. And so I congratulate you on receiving your certification, and I wish you all very well. And with that, let me conclude my address. I apologize, I have to run shortly, so I won't be around to hear many of the more insightful comments to be said today. But I thank you all once again. I congratulate the society, the president, Tirunelveli, all of the office bearers for the establishment and functioning of this new building. I congratulate Coimbatore on yet another feather in its cap, and I congratulate the society for your ongoing efforts on behalf of the country. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. May I now invite CS Manish Gupta, President ICSI, to present a memento to our chief guest as a token of our gratitude.
And that's the reason they were wanting to come. A little heavy.
Thank you, sirs. Owing to a tight schedule of program and preoccupation, Shri P.T.R. Tamil Tyagarajan, Minister, is taking off from the ceremony. We request our Secretary, Shri Ashish Mohan, to give the vote of thanks to the Minister for his occupying the chair as Chief Guest.
Good morning, all of you. Honorable Minister Dr. Palnivel Tyagarajan, IT and Digital Services Government of Tamil Nadu, Shri B. Ramesh Babu, MD and CEO KVB, President ICSI, Vice President ICSI, former President ICSI, dignitaries on other dignitaries on the dais, a very good morning to all of you. Indeed, it's a very proud and privileged moment for me to propose this vote of thanks to the Honorable Minister. Just to quickly brief, actually what happened was when I have just come here to present this vote of thanks, it takes me back exactly in the year 2003 when I have just become a member of one odd year. I was invited for a students conference in Coimbatore. I think Subhash sir sitting here would remember that he was actually very active those days and later on became chairman also of the chapter. And in fact, people were saying that 2014 onwards, 10 years, this building took, the project took almost 10 years. But before that also there is a lot of history, and why almost I can say 20-30 years history is there about this building process. And at last, I'm so happy, sir, at your in your august presence and through your hands, this building has been inaugurated, and which is so important, and it means a lot for the entire community of company secretaries and students here. Dear sir, I must say your presence here and your motivating words today will go a long way for the profession of company secretaries in its endeavor to ensure that better corporate governance culture is established in this country. So I on behalf of the Institute of Company Secretaries of India, sincerely again thank you for being here. We know how pressed you are for time, but in spite of that, you made it sure that you are here and blessed us all. Thank you, sir. I request all of you to once more please acknowledge.
We request the gathering to raise for thanking our chief guest.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Compliments, sir. Thank you.